dare you to watch until the end. I promise, by the time this story is over, you'll be checking your locks and questioning every creak in your house. When I was 14, my family moved into an old house on the edge of town. It was one of those places with a history. Too many owners, too many for sale signs, and a basement no one wanted to talk about. My parents called it a fixer-upper. I called it a mistake. The first few nights were uneventful. The house was drafty, and the floorboards groaned with every step. But I chalked it up to age. Then, on the fifth night, I woke up around 3 a.m. to a faint tapping sound. It was rhythmic, soft, and coming from downstairs. I figured it was just the wind rattling a loose window. Grabbing my phone for light, I crept out of bed. The tapping grew louder as I descended the stairs. When I reached the living room, I froze. The front door was wide open. "Mom? Dad?" I whispered, my voice shaking. No response. The night air was freezing and a dense fog had rolled in. I shut the door and locked it, my heart pounding. As I turned to head back upstairs, I saw it, a smudge of dirt on the floor, shaped like a handprint, leading toward the basement. Every instinct told me to go back to bed, but I couldn't. I had to know. Slowly, I followed the handprints to the basement door. It was slightly ajar, revealing a staircase swallowed in darkness. That's when I noticed something. The faint tapping sound was coming from down there. "Hello?" I called, trying to sound braver than I felt. The tapping stopped. The silence was worse than the noise. My flashlight barely pierced the blackness as I descended the steps. The air grew colder, and the smell of damp earth was overwhelming. At the bottom of the stairs, I shone my light around. The basement was empty, except for some old furniture and a cracked mirror leaning against the wall. Relieved, I let out a shaky laugh. "Just my imagination," I whispered. But then, in the reflection of the mirror, I saw it, a figure standing behind me. It wasn't human. Its skin was gray and stretched too tight over its bones. Its eyes were sunken, glowing faintly in the dark. Before I could turn around, it lunged, and the mirror shattered. I screamed and bolted up the stairs, my legs barely carrying me. As I reached the top, the basement door slammed shut with a deafening bang. I locked it and stumbled back to my room, shaking. My parents found me there in the morning, curled up and clutching my flashlight. They didn't believe me when I told them about the figure. But later that day, as my dad tried to fix the broken mirror, he found something in the dirt. A handprint pressed deep into the ground, far too large to be mine. You stayed until the end, so here's my promise. Old houses have secrets, and not all of them stay buried. The next time you hear something strange at night, ask yourself, do you really want to know what it is? If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Just remember, not everything you find is meant to be discovered. Light bulb.